Things are not good. You join us at a time where we are struggling financially. So far, playing through hard mode, we're halfway through the loans that we can take. We've taken roughly 15 million out of the maximum 30. Year on year right now, we are not making a profit. This number is bigger than this number, and you might think from that, okay, we're actually in the profit, but no. You need to consider our loan interest payments, and that is the thing that is really biting us in the tail right now. If you add these two numbers together, you can see that we're actually making a loss year on year, and quite substantially. How are we going to solve this? Well, we're going to do it through some economic reforms and some optimization of some routes. One of the economic reforms we can make is go ahead and build some trains in our most popular routes. This comment here from Billy Twister goes ahead and really just backs up the point I tried to make. So I suggested that I wanted to build maybe a train in between Bernion and Surin, just because the buses couldn't handle the amount of people wanting to go between the towns. Now, the only problem is that island actually isn't too flat. As you can see here, the route that I want to take, it sort of goes around the top of Bernion, and it actually would have to go for a tunnel just because Bernion's on quite a steep hill. Surin's quite flat, but it's just quite difficult with the height. Now, the other difficulty I had was building train stations in the towns. Fortunately, Surin had a nice empty area with no housing at the bottom of the town, and then Bernion also had a small section at the left side of the town, but they both weren't overly central, and that sort of hindered me. I could go ahead and knock down some houses, one or two, but I didn't have the money to go ahead and build those half the town to build a railway station, so that's something maybe on my bad that I didn't really consider in the first place. I maybe should have went and put train stations down right at the start of the series, but I didn't, and now I'm really maybe paying the price for that. What I did do was I did go ahead and build it, and unfortunately it didn't work out. As you can see in the gameplay, things just weren't working, and the real reason was because the train was really busy going from Bernion to Surin, but it was coming back near enough empty from Surin to Bernion, and then over time as well, I fluctuated the carriages. The train sort of just randomly was really busy, then really quiet, then really busy, then really quiet. There was no consistency to it at all. I did remove the bus joining those two up, and I made bus routes internally in with Surin and with Bernion, but unfortunately neither of those worked out for me. The second option was to go ahead and build a line from the oil well to the oil refinery on the island with Whitehall and Grobster, and I thought this is a really good idea, and surely this one will work because we'll always have the demand. And yes, we do always have the demands, but only going one way, and that is the fundamental problem that I had with this. I built the line, it'd be profitable one way, but just because of the high running costs, and it was the same over with Surin and Bernion, I just landed up making a loss on the way back because I was carrying nothing. I did think, okay, why can we not actually have something coming on the way back? And I decided by the oil well to try and build a port, and then connect that all the way back over to Egglesey, Weir and Bernion, so I could provide fuel to those towns. I thought, okay, that'll be a wonderful idea. And it is a wonderful idea, but the problem is I don't have a boat that goes fast enough to travel all the way from Grobster, Whitehall Island over to the area of Weir, Egglesey and Bernion. That distance just takes so long for a boat to travel. The time it's actually done that travelling, and due to the small capacity of the boat, it would then be making a loss again, which is really unfortunate. So that didn't land up working out either, and I actually tried to do that twice on two separate saves and it didn't work, which was really demoralising. I really thought I could get that to work, but it just gives me the feeling that right now, either with the trains I've got, it's just not going to work out, the high running costs, and I think I just need to wait a little bit longer until we get an even higher demand, and a good demand in both directions before I implement any more trains. Let's have a quick look at the map before we jump into today's episode though. As we can see, we've got our new route down in the bottom left hand corner between Longhope and Lyoness. That route is doing okay financially, and we'll look at that in this episode definitely. Then at the top right of the map, we've got our new boat between Whitehall and Braeswick. That's doing relatively well, and I think as the demand and time goes on, that'll actually really start to do very well because it's a perfect distance between those two islands. Hopefully we'll get a few more routes on the map this episode. So you join me today in the live gameplay over Bernion and Weir. Let's go ahead and start off by some boat optimization. I want to have a look at things because Looking at the line manager, things aren't great, and I know why things aren't great. It's basically the Egglesey to Soren route which is causing us two issues. First of all, it's in the negative. It's not got a lot of passengers, it's currently got 11 on board, 21 waiting at Soren where it's about to dock, and then only 13 at Egglesey. The second problem that it has caused is that there used to be a really high demand between Brunei and Egglesey. The reason for that is because they're two large towns, but Egglesey was only getting a boat from one location. It's now getting a boat from two locations but on the same islands. When we upgraded this boat up to the capacity of 100, I wanted it to fill, and it was filling for a while, but then we obviously came along and brought in our Egglesey to Soren route, and that's just ate away at it. Yes, we've got 39 people waiting there, yes we've got 10 people waiting in Brunei, but this just isn't good enough, and we want all of our routes to be profitable. Right now as well, the Braeswick to Whitehall, although it's a new route, it is in the negative, and we sort of need to offset that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply sell, and I'm going to remove the Egglesey to Soren route. This is going to be a big step to trying to make things more profitable. The next thing I want to just go over a bit more detail. I said that I had a few options for building trains in the intro, and I do still stand by that. I do have a few options, but I don't think the options are right as of now. I do think I could have a railway line from Soren to Brunei very soon, but just not yet. It's too soon for me to get trains. I don't have enough money to offset it. I need to make my money in different ways, and that's not the way. I'm going to still be sticking to road transport for now. My next constraint is buses. So buses, I've still got some bus routes which are quite negative, and we're going to sort those out, tweak a little bit and see what we can do. My real concern though is that I'm not having any luck with capacity upgrades, and I hinted at bringing in a mod into the last episode, I hinted at bringing in a mod for this episode. The next unlock for me is the Daimler bus, which I believe will have a capacity of 10, and I'm going to get that at 1922 or 23, so it's not too long. It will be in with this episode because I will let this run, because right now overall I think we're probably making money, which is really exciting. We've just ticked over now into 1916, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the game run for a year and see how we're doing financially. So a year has now passed, and it looks like we're actually still making a loss, even though I didn't actually spend anything. I made a loss of 45,000 for that year, and then overall we actually sold a vehicle as well, so you can really take another 176,000 off that. So in all honesty, we're losing about 200k a year, and that is me not doing anything, so that's not good. That is how bad of a financial crisis we're in, and we really need to sort this out. Let's get to it. Let's look at the buses next. If we filter the buses, we can see that we're doing quite well in terms of our route from Brunei to Soren, and we can go ahead and optimize this. What I want to do is I want to add in a second route along here, which goes and really just goes straight down to the port. It connects up the port better to Soren, and then I still want to have the route sort of that we got right now, but just expand it a little bit more to cover the better of the town. Before we do that though, we're going to jump over to the other side of the map, and I'm going to focus on what's going on over here with Lioness and Longhope. This is our latest route which we built down here, and it's costing us quite a bit of money. It's in the negative. It's at negative 14,000 right now, which just is not good enough. How are we going to help this issue out? What we're going to do is we're going to build the correct type of road for once, and we're actually going to go and, if we can, speed things up here a bit. I want to just cut across country, and I want to cut a bit of time off of our route. This road's cost me quite a lot of money, but I think it'll be worth it in the long term. So doing that alone there, that's going to shave maybe a minute or two off the long route. As we can see, it was, you know, I mean, it's going to be difficult to tell. It's going to be difficult to tell. I do think though that that will save time. I don't know how much time, but we can already see that the bus is choosing to go on that route now, and it's the correct type of road as well. It would make so much sense here to have a bridge, but this is the difficulty of this map. This is the constraints I put upon myself, and I think this should help out. The other thing I do want to do is I'm going to add 2 more buses onto this route to try and increase the overall regularity of the route and see if that makes a difference. So that's us now up to, what, 11 buses on this route. We're still running at a frequency of every 3 minutes, so I want to get that down to under 2 minutes. 100 seconds would probably be my optimal number, to be honest, but I think that could hopefully do us quite a bit of good just with those small changes. We could also plough through the fields as well. I'm not going to though, just on the fact that the fields are probably going to cost a lot of money to bulldoze. Let's just have a quick check. Yeah, that's definitely not worth it. Not worth it at all, so we're going to leave it like that. That small change might make the world of difference. We'll have to come back and see later on in the episode though. Let's fly back up to where we were though, and let's go and start to make that change. There's just so many people wanting to get on the buses between these towns. It is crazy. While we do wait, let's go ahead and add in, we might as well try and add in another 2 buses or so, just to try and help with the demands. The route is doing phenomenal. Financially, it's up at 50,000, which for a bus route is really good. Braeswick to Kettletoft is also doing really well actually. It's nice to see it's up at the 40,000 mark. I can imagine that's because the boat is now in the profit. The boat's not yet in the profit actually, but it is up at 50 passengers, which that's really good to see. So I do expect that to become profitable very quickly. It's also nice to see the Brennan to Egglesey route. That's now doing very well financially, and it's carrying a lot more passengers again, which is good to see. Anyway, those buses are out and about. Let's go ahead and start to create our new route. So what we're going to do is we're going to modify the yellow route itself. We're going to bring it even wider around the town now. This is because the town has grown quite considerably, so we added an extra stop over, I think maybe just one more stop over here. Need to wait till I get a bit more cash. There we go. So that's just going to come around there. What we're going to do with the dock stop is the dock stop, I'm going to have maybe 2 stops in this town in total. Or maybe we should just go straight to the docks. Yeah, I think we will just go straight to the docks, and the bus can come out this road here. This road's then going to be quite busy, and then when it comes into the town, we are going to add in a few more stops around the town. I think. Are we? Should we? Let's add one more stop up here, because I want to cover that part of the town. Let's also add in another stop down by the corner here as well. So let's go and grab our route modifier. And that's after stop numbers. We've got 1, we've got 2. After 2, let's jump up to Church Lane at 3. Become 5. We leave on 6. That's interesting. We obviously don't call 17. So let's call there at 18. And let's call at Mill Road at 19. So that's a small change there. Now let's try and add in our dock runner route. The route right now currently seems to be fluctuating up and down a bit. It's around about 40k, so we maybe lost a bit of money there. But let's go and create our new route. Now I don't need it to serve all the bus stops in the town, but I do need to serve them in a certain order. So if we add in a new stop here, for example, let's call at... I'm just trying to think. Let's call in on the way here. Let's call in there. Let's call in there. And there. Let's actually get rid of Park Road. I don't want Park Road, I've decided. Might as well call it though, because we're running by it. Yeah, so let's just do this smaller square, like so. And then on the way out, we'll call at George Street as well. And then we're just going to go straight down to the docks on the other side. I'm going to change the colour here to orange, just so we can see it a bit better. So we can see it's not really stopping at any of the stops in the town of Bernyan. It's also not running on a lot of the same roads as well, which is going to ease congestion, and this should really help things out. I'm going to name this the same, but just the second route essentially. So I've named this the Bernyan Surin Dock Runner, because that's really what it is now. Because we got rid of the boat from Upper Surin here over to Egglesey, and I want an express service essentially, which runs straight down to the dock in Bernyan, and I think this is a good way to go about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick $500,000 loan. We're going to buy 5 buses I think for this, and we're going to get the dock runner up and going and seeing how that is doing. Next thing is here we have only 46 people going that way, but there's a higher demand to go the other way. How profitable is this boat right now? It's not doing too bad, it's at 10k. I'm just thinking there is an upgrade possibility for this route if I want it. If we go into our upgrader and then we have a look at the middle ship, we've got this ship here. What's the running cost difference? It looks like it was double there. Sorry, let me go back in here. So running the Rigi right now, Rigi's doing not too bad a job. Running cost is 36,000 a year, whereas if we're to go for this next ship up, can carry a lot more passengers, but an increase of 50%, but the running cost is just about double, which is really not worth it. I might as well have 2 Rigis on here, which I'm not going to do when it's such a short crossing, to be honest. And we're going to have to leave it for now. It's a shame, and it is getting more profitable though, so I really can't complain. You are near enough, you're full going both ways now, so it is a win-win. Yeah, but now I just feel I'm wasting opportunity. I really do there. That's interesting. We'll leave it for now though and come back to it. Let's jump across the water though and let's see how we're doing over here. Looks like again we're doing really well. What I honestly need to do is upgrade with more lorries, I think is the best bet. I think it's been a really good call to not dip into trains yet, because we're just not ready for it. We add some more trucks onto the Whitehall route there. Again, I'm going to make some small optimizations. I realise it might make it a bit more messy, but let's do a... Ooh, that's aviation, and that is very exciting. I realise I'm going to take another small loan out here. I realise we're trying to save money, but I really do feel we will be saving money by spending money. I don't want this to be too expensive. Let's do that there. I don't know if that's going to make much difference. We've done it anyway. That might save us a bit of money and time. Surely it's gonna. It really surely is gonna. What is your max speed? 25. So you're already the roads we've got, you're bound by. This also means there should be less traffic because the buses and the lorries now, they're sort of driving on different parts for a while, which is nice. Crude oil wise, can we bring more crude oil over? I really do think we can bring more crude oil over. So let's go and do that. I'm expecting a message quite shortly saying that I am basically at my capacity, because I doubt we can store much more fuel than 100 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to apply these 2 trucks onto the Whitehall route as well. Grobster seems to be doing good. If we actually have a look at these individual towns, see how we're doing. We're at 86% right now, which is phenomenally good for Whitehall. We really can't get much better than that. And then I can imagine Grobster it's at 98%, so we cannot physically get much better right now than what we are doing. So I'm expecting the demand to sort of teeter off a bit, unless we supply oil to another town. Right now though, I just don't think we have... I mean, I'm trying to think where I would send it to. I know Weir's too far away, the boat would take way too long. Egglesey's a possibility. I don't think that would work though. We could always come up here, we could go to Eddy, or we could go to Braeswick. Again, I think that's a bit too far, so I think we're going to have to leave it for now. We do have air aviation. I don't want to place an airport though, because it's going to cost me too much money, but I would be curious to see the freight planes. If it was to carry any freight, I can't imagine it would probably only carry like 1 or 2, but it could be profitable. I would be very intrigued by that. Anyway, how's our dock runner service doing? Because that's what I'm quite interested in. So dock runner right now is in the negative. It's just about positive though. It's sort of blinking on positive, which is good. All the buses are already full. I'm not honestly surprised at that much. One thing we've not done yet is actually made the expansion of our Bernine-Surin route, because I wanted to add in, after bus stop number 10, I want to add in our new Highfield Road, which I expect to be a very busy stop. Do I add more buses in? I think we're going to add some more buses into our Surin dock runner. Let's add in maybe 1, 2 more buses into this route for the time being, and that should hopefully bring the frequency down. It already has. We're really seeing the same amount of money, to be honest, for our normal yellow bus route. It's fluctuating in between 35 and 40k, which is pretty much where it was at beforehand. So I'm quite happy with that. I do think we have, with this dock runner route, we've actually made an extra 12k really on top. Partially, it's probably because of the capacity, to be honest. We've just got so many people wanting to travel, and we're really allowing for that with all the new buses on the route. But it is flying high. Again, though, it's difficult to say if we are making money, if we are getting through this financial crisis or not. I do think, though, with the increased capacity over at the fuel, over by Whitehall and Grobster, that should make a bit of a difference as well. So my next observation that I am making is that there are now so many trucks coming into this depot that they're queuing up. The downfall is that the small terminal that I've got here only has 2 lanes, and we've got 3 different routes coming into here. So the simple answer, once we have a bit more capital, I'll wait to the end of this month, is we're going to actually change this up for a large centre, just so we can get all 3 routes to have their own individual lanes, which I think is quite logical. Again, it's these small optimizations which are going to make the big difference. So if we change for a large truck station, we can go and build that for only 25,000, which is good. And now if we split the terminals, we've actually only increased by 1 terminal, but that's fine. That solves my problem. We stick you up to 1 there. Then that is us sorted. What is going to the top? That's the crude oil. We want crude oil coming into 3. We probably want the Grobster up at number 2. Like so, I think that's the best bet. And now that means there shouldn't really be any traffic jams, which is perfect. Crude oil can get in and out really quickly. That's the one that's most important. Whitehall, you're the highest in demand, so I'm happy for Grobster to go round to the back. And that should solve my problems, which is good. Busy, busy. This is crazy. This is a problem as well, is what it is. Because I've got so many trucks over here that it doesn't matter how many trucks we have. We're sort of just losing money. There's also trucks in the queue here which need to just turn around. I think they probably got sent back when we made this change, but this is just negative. This is really, really not good. We're gonna have to sell some of these because it's not financially advantageous for me to have trucks just queuing doing nothing. I've sold 2 and I think that's good, but the big thing is we've just unlocked that new bus. This is massive. Let's go back over to here and see how we're doing. I think that the bus stops generally are, I mean the new bus stop's doing really, really good. Not surprised at that in the slightest. Financially, the Brunei and Surin route is probably down overall, but the dock runner, I mean that's the thing, these 2 bus routes are now competing against each other, which is quite interesting. What I do want to do though is I want to start to replace some of these buses. I'm not going to replace them all, but we're going to replace some of them anyway. I'm going to add in some new buses, because these, oh, they've got a capacity of 11, that's phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. I'm really, really happy about that. Just that difference in 3 people is going to make, I mean, if I have, for example, say 8, we have, no, let's have 5 post buses, that gives us 8 capacity, so that gives us 40 in total. I only need to run 4 of the new I've used these buses before and I've never been able to say their name. Daimler buses? Daimler. Yeah, I think that's right, Daimler. Right, let's go for some of these. Unfortunately though, I don't have too much money right now, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do our good old sell up technique, and let's sell a few of these. Let's return a few of these to the depot. I realise that I've bought many of these over the years and just sort of just shuffled them out. I'm actually going to take out an extended loan again. We're going to take another 1 million for the upgrading here. Let's go and grab 2, 3 of these and let's stick them out on to the bus route and see how they fare. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let the game run for a period of time. So that's me completed another year, and we can see that last year we lost only 149,000. So that has us made a little bit of progress, only by 50,000 or so, but it is in the right direction. And I really do think, honestly, it is because of the new Daimler buses. As we can see, the dock runner, it's at 65,000 profit. The original Brunei and Surin route, it's only down at 25,000, but I've started to introduce some of the new buses onto some of our old routes. I'm going to continue to do this and keep the game running at quite a fast pace, just so we can see and hopefully get into the profit by the end of this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, you will not believe it. We've managed to run through 1927 and we've come out with a profit of 56,000. I didn't spend anything that year. As we can see, the running cost cost me 1.6 million exactly. That was mainly on the road side of things. However, the income was 2.41 million. Of course, we need to take away our loan interests. Again, that profit mainly came from the road. Honestly, the new buses are just doing phenomenal. If we actually have a look at this view instead, I think this would categorize it now a bit better. You can just see how we're doing financially. We are doing, again, crude oil still doing really good, but we're getting lots of buses up there now. Really, really good. And we can already see as well that a lot of the routes probably could do with an increased capacity as well, which is what I'm going to continue to do. Right now, okay, we've got a very high loan interest payment rates going back. I can't really do too much about that. What I need to do is probably keep actually getting more loans so I can buy some more buses, because that's the way that we're going to continue really to get out of the negative. What I have done is, in between this and the last clip, all of the Brunei Surin, they all have the new bus, the Daimlers, along with the Dot Runner, it's the same, they're both doing phenomenally. Grobster to Whitehall, that's a quite obvious one. Coming down the list, Longhope to Lyoness. Now this route was costing us probably about 30,000. It's now been shortened slightly again. I did a tiny shortcut, which every little thing helps, but that's now into the profit, which is good. The only downfall is Egglesey. Egglesey is something which I just need to work on that. I think as well I'm going to upgrade on Weir as well shortly, and then maybe Braithwaite to Kettletoft. It's all good, it's all looking good, we're all in the right direction. By no means we're out of the financial crisis, but I do think we're going to bypass having another really bad one. The downfall is this really does mean we're going to have to stick to road and boat traffic for now. The thing I'm looking at right now is that we've not had a boat unlock in a while, and I'm expecting the next boat, at least passenger one, I'm hoping it's going to be quite profitable. That's really what I'm hoping. Right now we are making money off the boats, but I feel we could just be doing that a bit better with the boats, and I feel we need a better boat to be unlocked. I am really tempted to upgrade this now to a 75 person, but then I'm like, I don't know. I do just need better boats, I think, that's honestly what I need. And then similarly as well, we had such success with the upgrade of our buses. I think as soon as we get an upgrade in trucks, again, things will be really good, and I think things will become even more profitable than they are already. So with all the work done today, we've done a lot of micromanagement. We haven't really achieved too much in terms of new routes, which that's really going to be the focus of next episode, but we've managed to get the balance sheet back to profitable, which that is really the main thing. Now, one thing I touched on in the intro was that I wasn't making trains successful, and the reason for that was possibly because train stations are not in really good parts of town. So as you can see here, I've gone ahead and pre-built some stations for the future. This is in Brennan, Soren, Grobster and Whitehall, just so I can have train stations which are relatively close to the centre, maybe not perfectly in the centre, but as these towns get bigger through their buses and through their cargo, then these train stations will start to be surrounded, and it means it shouldn't be as a financial burden on me when I come round to build the trains. The only one negative I would have to say is that we're up to 24 million in our loan, so we've only got really 6 million left, so a lot of this micromanagement in this episode has really boiled down to getting us in the profit, that we don't have a lot of that loan left, and that does concern me. If worse comes to worse, we can contact the International Monetary Fund or the mod of pork barrels, which most of you should know. Basically every time you place a barrel you get 500,000. I don't really want to do that though, but if we have to, I mean, some maps are just extremely difficult, and this map on hard is very difficult. This is probably one of the most challenging maps I've played, along with playing the Scottish map on hard. I did a Transport Fever series, for those who don't know, connecting up Scotland, and that was really good. I did that on easy, but then I played that by myself on hard mode, and that was really difficult, just because everything was really along the east coast of Scotland, and it was all really close together, and then the west coast was really sparse, and it really made for a good game, but it was really difficult, and this really reminds me of that. In the next episode, as I said, I want to start working on some new lines. Where are we going to start? I think we're going to go back down to the South Orkney Islands, and I also want to connect up the island of Eddy as well, which is in between the islands of Egglesey and... I suppose it's in between Egglesey, Grobster and Braeswick. I'll show a map on screen now so you get the idea of where it is. That's what I want to connect up, and I think we can do that through a few boats, maybe a boat coming from Braeswick and then maybe a boat coming from Egglesey, but I'm not sure. We'll work out all the logistics in the next episode. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, rating and subscribe if you are new around here. Go down into that description below and check out my social media links, Twitter, Patreon and Discord. Check them all out. Any support you can show me on them would be greatly appreciated. Again, a massive thank you to Nicole H for supporting me over on Patreon. Leave more comments, people, leave more comments, because I really want to try and encapsulate as much user feedback as possible in this series, and I think I'm doing quite a good job so far, so please go ahead and leave your thoughts and ideas down below. And that's all, ladies and gentlemen, so thank you very much for watching, and my name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.